So let's go ahead and add our table to our HTML here. We'll get rid of the select list and we're going to add this table example. And if you look at what this generated here, it's basically a table with one nested table inside it that has two rows. Now, of course, things can get a lot more complicated than this, but if you understand how to do this basic case, you shouldn't have any problem with any level of nesting. So what we're going to do here, the basic strategy is we're just going to take things very simply here. And even though you can do things a little bit more efficiently, and we'll see that when we get to XPath, sometimes it's better to do something fairly simple so that it's easy to understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the first table. Then from this first table, we're going to look for another table buried in it. So that'll be our second table, our inner table. And then we're going to look for a TD element, and we're going to get the collection of them, and we'll get the second one in order to get row 2, and we'll get the text out of there. And this represents something that you might have to do frequently, especially if you're doing some verification in your test. Often you want to check to see if certain data is in a table in a specific position, and this is going to help you to do something like that. So let's go ahead and wipe out this code that we had here. And let's go ahead and create a variable called outer table. And we're just going to do driver dot find element, and we're going to find it by tag name. A lot of times tables don't have IDs or names. They might have classes, but many times you're going to have to do by tag name to find a table because they're often not labeled. So we're going to grab the first table, and then we need to get the inner table. Let's call this outer. We'll call this one inner table. And so we're going to do outer table dot find element, and we're going to do by tag name, and we're going to say table again. So that's going to give us the inner table. And then we're going to do the row. So we'll say row is equal to inner table dot find elements, and this time we're going to do by tag name, and we're going to do it by the TD that's inside there. And so this is going to give us the list of 2, and we're going to grab the first one, or index 1, and then we'll just do console.writeLine, and we'll do our row.text. And so this is going to prove that we're able to get that text. So I'll go ahead and run this, and you can see our table displayed here. And if we look at our output, you can see we get table 2, row 2. So we're able to get this text here. And so what we've done here isn't that bad. If you look at this code, it's pretty straightforward. It's simple, but we did have to do 3 commands here. It might be a little bit better in some cases if we used something like XPath. So let's look at how we could do that next.